Well, it is 7 o'clock, but we need Wanda on to be able to open the meeting.
Is she there or no? She can call in by phone, can't she?
Yeah, she can. It's showing that
I know I had to call 3-4 times and it finally went through.
Ah, okay. That's good to know.
A couple times with my screw up though.
So before we start the meeting, just a couple of things to go through. First one, please mute your mic. So what happens if they're not muted? There causes a lot of feedback at the city hall.
I'm not sure I know how to do that.
That computer. So if you can do that,
I don't know if
and then
I don't think I can do that on my phone. I don't think.
yeah, you won't be able to. Not on your
Okay, I'll just keep my mouth shut.
And then the next one is that with every agenda item, I need to do a roll call on it. So, you know, someone will first and second it. And when we do a final, I'll have to go through each one of you. And you'll have to say yay or nay. So just a heads up on that one.
Okay.
I think we're missing Glenn. And then just waiting where Wanda can. Start the meeting. Jack, I wonder if you have any suggestions for Wanda. You're muted. Hang on, guys. This is Glenn. This is Stephanie.
Okay.
Ooh. Jack,
Yes.
is there a way that you can resend the invite to Glenn? Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute again.
How's that? Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you just forward it to him, but at a different email?
Yeah. What's the email you want?
It's N as in Nancy,
Okay.
Terry, Terry,
Okay.
99
Okay.
@gmail.com.
I tried to call Wanda. I got a voice message that said there was nobody available, so I don't know what's up on that.
Okay.
Hang on, but Stephanie, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
We just sent that new notice to Glenn, so
Okay.
hopefully he'll be able to log on here in just a moment.
Thank you for your patience, everyone. Hey, Gwen's on now. Glenn, can you hear me? Glenn?
Yes, sorry, the traffic was really something getting here.
Yeah. Well, we have everyone but Wanda. She was on here. Now she's gone, but we're having a hard time. We don't have any volume for Wanda. So Jack, do you suggest that we still wait or just have Glenn start the meeting? Or?
I think you ought to just go ahead and start the meeting.
Okay. All right. So Glenn,
Yes.
looks like you're chair. But one thing I just want to let you know is when we're going through the agenda items, each one I'm going to have to do a roll call. So we'll do the first and second, and then
Just lost the
At
volume.
the end, I'll go through everybody so they can let me know yay or nay on everything. So.
All right. I'd like to call this meeting to planning and zoning on May 26th to order. And I'd like to make a motion to adopt tonight's agenda. All in favor?
I'll second. Sharon Johnson.
All in favor? Aye.
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 All right, I'll have to go through everybody on it. So, Wanda hasn't came on yet. So, Glenn, aye. Sharon, aye. Tom,
Aye.
Daryl,
Aye.
Jerry, and Jim.
Aye.
All right. All right, Glenn.
Right. Next item is the approval of meeting minutes. Any comments? Right.
If no one has any changes or corrections, I would make a motion to accept the minutes
A second.
from, whatever.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Wait, who seconded?
I did. Glenn.
Okay, so we have Sherry first, Glenn second, and then I'll go through when Sharon,
I was absent.
Tom,
Aye.
Daryl,
Aye.
Sherry, you made the first, Jim.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
All
All
right.
right. Motion passes. Next item is a public hearing for a variance of cul-de-sac length at Prairie Pines, 245th Avenue Northeast, Washington Street, Carrington Development.
Oh, wrong agenda.
No, that's
All right.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
And let's not go with that.
That was already the last one.
Okay,
Run the
scratch
punishment.
that. Well,
Can anybody hear me now?
We can.
Yes.
You, Wanda. Yay.
thank God.
Sorry, guys.
Somebody knows what they're
Glenn,
doing
keep
around here.
going. You're doing keep going, Glenn. You're doing such a good job.
Yeah, that was really terrific. I make a motion to turn the meeting over to
Thanks a lot.
I'll second.
thank you. All in favor? Aye.
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 All right, everybody. The next agenda item is the site plan review for the proposed Dollar General at Viking Boulevard.
All right, so let me see here. So tonight we have Dollar General, which is proposing to construct a 9,100 square foot building at 4849 Viking Boulevard. The property is zoned B1, which is limited business, and limited business does allow retail sales and services in this area. So, can you guys see my pointer too?
Yes.
Okay, so here you have the location right here. Right here is the Speedway, Wildlife Drive, which is vacant lot. So city staff and Anoka County Highway Department did complete reviews and we provided comments to the applicant. So we've been working with them for a few months on this one. The site plan does meet the city code minimum requirements right now. Attachment 3 in your packet is the letter from the city engineer, which is dated April 17th, which the engineer does recommend approval of the site plan with the following conditions. The final approval by Anoka County Highway Department, which they did do a final approval on May 4th, 2020, so that condition's been met. Wetland delineation completed and approved by the technical evaluation panel, The wetland delineation report hasn't been done yet. When we started working with them in the winter, you can't do wetland delineations in the winter. So I'm assuming that will be done soon here. And then approval of an operations and maintenance agreement for the retention pond. That agreement is something that we're working with them on. Typically, it's between the city attorney and myself and them to get that squared away. So we're working on that. And then also in your packet, as attachment 7, you'll see that they will be constructing a right turn lane as shown on the site plan, and that's one of the requirements from Milford County Highway Department. So first we'll go through the architectural design. So here you have it on your screen. Attachment 5 shows the proposed architectural design of the building. I did send you guys a different architectural design today that was emailed to me this morning. So the one on the screen is the one that's been emailed to me, so it's the most updated one. The design of the building may meet the minimum requirements of the city code. City code requirements, I outlined those for you, what's required in city code as for materials and such. Staff did have some concerns with the following details of the building, and I still question a little bit on it too. So this is where Planning Commission, and I asked for some discussion on this item. City code does state that, well, it says on here unfinished blocks, so I got to scrap that part of my report since they turned in the new materials. It does say that city code requires accent materials to be used on the building. Accent materials used on the building seem to be used at a minimum. They did add a couple awnings here in the front. However, on the previous plan that we had from them, they also had these, I don't even know what you call them, kind of medallion type things on the sides of the building. And here they've removed those now. And they just put on the awnings right here. And then one thing I did want to show you too is that this was attached in your report as well. This is some architectural designs of 3 other existing Dollar General buildings. And I just wanted you guys to see the type of buildings that they do build out there. So you can take a look at this and compare it to what's being proposed here. And if you have any comments or recommendations for the applicant on that. Staff, again, I recommend that you take a look at these design elements and possibly incorporate some of them into that whole building. So I'm not sure if these are, they're kind of blurry to me, so I'm assuming maybe to you, but you do have better copies of it in your staff report. The location of the building, the parking lot, the trash enclosure, drain field, that meets all the requirements of code. According to the code, we need 52 parking stalls, which they do have 52 parking stalls on site, so they also meet that requirement. This is hard to read too, but so this is a landscape plan. And we actually went through a few renditions with them on landscaping. And our first one, and they were species that weren't salt tolerant or tolerant of our zones up here. So we had them change some of the plantings, in which they did. So now all the plantings do meet the growing requirements for zone 3 and are drought tolerant. And then also our screening requirements state that businesses adjacent to single family residential areas must provide a fencing and evergreens adjacent to the entire length of the common property line. So they do have a proposed 6-foot fence running up that eastern property line, and then it's going to actually hook over here a little bit that way. So they do have the 6-foot fence, and then on the other side of the fence, they are going to plant the 22 arborvitaes, so they will have the nice buffer here. And actually what's happening as well is they're going to be constructing a 2-foot landscape wall along this whole area too. And on top of that landscape wall, the fence is going to go. So technically it'll be about an 8-foot screening fence area. And then with the arborvitaes that will be 6 feet tall when they plant them, and they can grow up to 15 feet tall. So they have a pretty good buffer. Then in the back here, it is wooded, and we also have a drainage utility easement, and there's a wetland here. So there's no need to have the fencing run back here or the arborvitae. The natural area here provides a buffer for the residents that are just right over in this area. So at this time, Planning Commission is requested to discuss the site plan and the architectural design, make a recommendation to City Council. If the Commission does make recommendations to change the proposed architectural design, a condition will need to be added to the resolution. Recommendation of approval should be with the conditions set forth in the attached resolution for me. And then on the line also is Paul Brown, and he is working with the engineering firm for Dollar General. If you have any specific questions for him, that's the end of my report.
Okay, everybody. Anybody have any comments? Questions?
What do we do regarding the public hearing aspect of this?
Site plan reviews do not require a public hearing, so it's not a public hearing.
Oh, okay.
I just got one question on page 16. Stephanie, are those awnings on page 16, or is that similar to what you're talking about for the new building then? The change?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good enough.
And this is
Looks good.
Jim, correct?
Yeah, looks
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
This is Sherry. I have a question just about the design also because, we're looking at so many different pictures and emails. I've driven by the one that's going up in Ham Lake.
Yep.
Is that going to be the same design?
My understanding, this one is different.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. So
Yeah.
I wanted to make that clear.
It looks more like the one in Isanti.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question on this whole general thing. Has anybody considered the traffic problem with the placement of this Dollar General right across from the Speedway and EJ's and Wild Rice and the traffic that goes through there on Coon Lake, going down to Coon Lake?
Traffic, you mean traffic being heavy?
Traffic being heavy and getting in and out of there. I see they're putting in a right turn lane, but there is, it's hard enough getting in and out of there.
Yeah. So that's a jurisdiction of Anoka County Highway Department, and they reviewed it. They don't have comments on the traffic. They don't think that's going to be an issue, but they did require the right turn lane to ease some of that right in.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments on the design? I think it's kind of plain and ugly, quite frankly, but that's a personal opinion.
I have a comment. I'm very much disturbed in general by architecture in this area and how developers lack imagination. But I think on this particular issue, given the company, it's sort of a losing battle to try and get anything imaginative architecturally. Personally, I like the one that is the red brick one, the best of the designs that we were shown. But whether or not
that one up. You talking to the one on the right of the slide?
yes.
Okay.
Though of course that's 2 bays wider than the one that's going in. But still I like that treatment a little better.
Okay.
It's like the lesser of 3 or 4 not evils but blasés.
Right.
So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I have a question for city staff. So the amended plans that we were emailed this morning, those now meet the minimum standards we have for our architectural needs as a city, correct?
Possibly. I'm not really sure either. You know, it does say that you need to have accent materials on the building, you know, cornices and poles and that sort of thing. I question if this one meets that design standard.
May I respond to that?
Yes.
So,
And
Stephanie,
who's responding?
this is Paul Brown. I'm with
Oh, okay.
Overland. I'm with Farnsworth Group, and we're the consultant for Overland, who is the developer.
Yeah.
And Stephanie and I talked about this last week, which is what resulted in this revised rendering. I'm not an architect. I don't claim to be. I do a lot of work with Overland, and so I'm here covering for them tonight. Several things. The discussion was made of accents, and although at the scale that Stephanie has on the screen, there are medallions all up and down each side.
Okay.
As there were before. It's just harder to see because of the color of the brick. Before we had the lighter color was called a dull gray. I understand gray is not apropos there, even though the building to the west kind of looks like it's gray to me. But if you're able to zoom in or have a little higher quality resolution on your screen, you will see that each one of those on the sides, each one of those bays does have those medallions. And specifically, Stephanie, when you and I talked on Thursday and you said accents, and I said, are we talking about more medallions, and you said awnings? And so that's why there's awnings, and that's what I went with, or that's what I passed along to the developer and the architect, because that was our understanding what you needed to feel better about this. So if there's other accents that, you know, your code would require, you know, please help. And if you can, you know, first of all, looking at a rendering, you know, it's not going to be the exact color of what's going in there. It's going to be close. You know, but you're looking at something on a computer screen compared to what's going to be out in the real world. But if you have screen resolution where you can see this, you'll see the medallions both in the columns and in the bays on each side.
Okay, Paul, thanks for the clarification on that, because you're absolutely right. With my screen, I can't see them at all. And even on my screen, the color of it looks gray. I can't even see that it's like a brown color, but everyone's telling me it's a brown color. So yeah, so thank you for that clarification.
Do you have the ability to share a screen, and I can try and show you what I have?
Yeah, hold on 1 minute here. Let's see if I can get out of here. I was having problems with this before. So hopefully I can. Oops. Yeah, it's not letting me for some reason. It won't even open or anything.
Okay, well, anyway, like I said, as you look at the front of the building, and maybe I don't know if you can zoom in on your screen any closer, but underneath the Dollar General sign on the building, there's 6 lighter colored medallions there, and they stand out with the darker brick. You've got the additional windows, and again, I think someone commented, you know, that this is not the same as other towns, so this is a little more architecturally designed than some of their basic stores. So, you know, I'm not telling you have to like the colors, but I'm just saying that they're trying to go the extra mile here to make sure that they meet your city standards.
Right. Any other comments from the commission?
I think the awning is better than not having the awning, if that matters.
Anybody else have a comment?
Yeah, so this is Sharon Johnson, and I just wanted to comment that I like the one that was sent out today. I like the awnings also. I just want to come on the side of Dollar General and say that we need to do this in a reasonable manner also. So the architectural standards have to meet the city, but I don't think we have to go beyond that. I do have a question about, it says that that so much surface has to be windows or accents. Are there going to be any windows at all, or is that it, just the windows in the front?
It's just the windows in the front. The way our code reads is that the facade facing the public right away
Okay,
has to have the windows.
okay. So again, for me, I think it looks, fine. It's a Dollar General store, and we're happy to have it coming if it comes.
One more thing I was going to mention, Stephanie, the wetlands delineation is done. I can't speak for the delineator if he actually flagged it when he was out there, but I talked with Rusty today at Overland, and he said the footprint of the wetlands is less than what that actual easement is back there, so it's not exceeding that line that's shown on the drawing. He says it's actually a pretty close match, but he goes, if anything, it might be a little bit smaller.
Okay.
So he thought that you should have that report within the week.
Oh, perfect. Thank you for that update.
Say, Stephanie, this is Tim. I just want to tell Paul that it's all flagged back there. I walked down there and looked at it. It's all flagged. Everything's flagged.
Anybody else have any comments? Tom, you have any comments, or Sherry?
Yes, I would like to, I agree with Sharon on this. It's a Dollar General. I think it's a beautiful thing for East Bethel to get a Dollar General. Is it dressed up to the T? No, but I think it'll do. So I'm in favor with what they're proposing.
Yeah, this is Sherry. I don't think we would expect a beautiful building. I mean, you're right, it's Dollar General, but I think that what they're doing with the design will be appropriate for the area.
Glenn here. Oh, sorry.
Anybody else have any further comments?
Glenn, I just want to add that it is actually a good thing to have this store coming in. So many residents have been asking for some kind of thing like this, or groceries or whatnot, and this isn't, a perfect solution for what everybody's looking for, but it offers quite a lot, and I'm glad to have it.
All right, with that, if anybody else, if no one else has.
Jim Smith here. This is Jim Smith. I think
Hi,
it looks
Jim.
great. I think it'll be a great thing for East Bethel, and I agree with what Glenn just said too. People are looking for a lot of different things, and this place does have a lot of options, which is great. I think it'd be great for East Bethel. That's my opinion.
All right, with that, I think everybody has had a comment. I will entertain a motion if someone so chooses. Anyone?
I'll make a motion to accept the site review, the site design as presented with the staff recommendations.
I'll second. Jim Smith.
All right, and then I'll do roll call. Wanda?
Aye.
Sharon?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Daryl?
Aye.
Sherry?
Aye.
All right, and Jim? All right, you know.
And Glenn is an aye.
Glenn is an aye too. Yeah, okay.
All right, with that, the motion passes and goes to City Council on
This will be at City Council on June 8th.
June the 8th.
June 8th. So Paul, I will send you all the information on that tomorrow about the city council meeting.
Great, thank you. And thank you all for your consideration.
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Do you need me for anything else?
No, you're free to go.
Thanks.
All right, for everybody else, the next thing on the agenda is other business, but I think with that, we'll turn it over to Mr. Harrington, if he can fill us in on what's going on.
Well, Planning Commission members, it's nice to see you again. I'm going to give you some highlights here of the last 2 months. We approved the final plat for Prairie Pines, the Carrington development, and we also did approve the cul-de-sac length for Prairie Pines. And I don't know if anybody's had an opportunity to get up there. I was up there Friday. Mr. Strandland's already got his road in. It's all blacktop. He's got all the lots marked. It really looks sharp up there. So if you get a chance, maybe get up there and take a look at it.
I've been up there. It's nice. Looks good.
Let me see here. We had our financial audit for the city. The city's in good shape. We extended the MOU for the hang on one second, I gotta grab my notes here. For the Eldridge thing, we were planning on bidding that out separately, but the MnDOT, with the money that they're gonna give us, said that they think it would be better if we did everything at one time. So we kind of pushed things out, and it sounds like construction will start late fall, if I'm not mistaken. So that's still a goal. We had our Board of Appeals and Equalization 2 weeks ago. 162 people come in for the values on their house. That's the most we've had.
Wow, during this? Yikes.
Pardon me?
During this COVID and all those people showed up?
No, they most of them got settled. I think we had like 7 or 8 that actually came to
the meeting.
Yeah. And then lastly, the Anoka County asked for a letter of support to put Coon Lake Park into a regional park system. And that's all I've got, unless somebody's got some questions.
Mr. Davis, do you have anything to add?
No, you can't top Tim's report.
I like it. Does anybody else have any other business?
Just want to give you guys a heads up that we do plan to have a planning commission meeting in June. So it'll be June 23rd, so mark your calendar. As of right now, I have about 6 items on the agenda.
Woohoo.
Live or on the computer?
We don't know yet. I'll keep you posted.
Well, if no one has anything else, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved. This is Sherry.
Second?
Second, Sharon Johnson.
All right, and then Wanda?
Yes. Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Daryl?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
All right, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Have a great
Meeting's
evening.
adjourned. Thank you for your patience, guys. Talk to you soon.
Hi, everyone.
Bye.